News Talk, 95.1 FM and 790 AM. We are KFYO Mornings. Dave King, Matt Martin here on your radio at 7:35 AM on a Thursday. And, of course, that can only mean one thing. It's time for the Car Pro. Good morning, Jerry Reynolds.
Well, good morning, fellas. How are you guys doing?
We're wonderful.
Good.
We are thawed out. It's going to be a heat wave today. 55 is our high in Lubbock.
I think it's colder in Dallas. Actually, we're 27 now, going to 48, they say. We'll see.
Yeah, well, you're not that different than we are.
No, not at all. Not at all, but it has been chilly.
I mean, honestly, I can go to Dallas, and I still think I'm in Lubbock. You know, I mean, Dallas and Lubbock are almost exactly alike.
I say that all the time.
Yeah, I know.
I hope you guys had a very Merry Christmas and a real Happy New Year.
Yeah, ditto. I hope you did, too.
Well, I did. I spent most of the time since we last talked driving around in a BMW 640i X-Drive. Interesting car. And this is something that we're seeing more and more of. A very large hatchback. So it doesn't have a trunk, but it has a liftgate, sort of like an SUV, but it's not. It's a car. And so the Audi A7 was the first one that I had ever seen. Now we've had the BMW 640 just come out, and it's got a hatchback. And now the Audi S5. I spent a few days with it last week. It was also a large hatchback. So new trend, and as the automakers try to figure out some way to fuel the car business, not the overall auto business, but the car business, because cars have just been on such a decline in the last couple of years, and they're trying new things, and I think that's the reason for this.
You know, Jerry, you said you mentioned that the very last time we talked. Why is the car manufacturers? It seems like they're trying to sweep the ocean back with a broom. Why don't they just relent and make what people want and quit trying to salvage the four-door sedan?
I think the reason is, and I think that it was a lesson learned in 08 and 09 when gasoline prices spiked, the market completely reversed itself. And you can't react fast enough should that happen. With sedans and smaller cars, you can't just snap your fingers and make them appear if the market shifts suddenly and everybody wants them again. So I think that's part of it. I think it's out of caution because who knows? I mean, gas prices right now are creeping up nationwide. I read a story yesterday that we'll be at $2.60 a gallon across the board this year on average. And that's quite a bit higher than it was. So I think they're watching that. But, you know, I don't think it's a business that they can abandon, but they've got to be careful and just not overproduce. And I think that's one of the reasons the incentives were so good, especially in the fourth quarter of last year, as they tried to get something going. Toyota Camry was once again number one selling car in America. That's 15 years in a row. So it's doing okay. The new Honda Accord's doing good. I mean,
so they pulled it off.
Out there. Yeah.
They were second when we were talking to you a couple months ago. They were in second place. So
yeah, Civic was ahead. But if you recall, I said Toyota will buy the crown and spend by that they'll spend whatever they needed to make sure that they were and they won it pretty sizably. We did get all the numbers in yesterday from 2017, and the industry was down 1.8% from a year ago, which was the best year in automotive history. So I think everybody was pretty pleased with the results from 2017. The question now is, what are the manufacturers going to have to spend per car to make 2018 even close to 2017? And that's what we're going to have to wait and see. Typically, rebates and incentives drop in January, and then they kind of build through the year. But the early numbers that I saw yesterday from some of the manufacturers, the incentives are still good going into January. So we'll see.
Okay, so, Jerry, I'm looking online here, and it appears that a BMW 640i here in Lubbock they've got it listed at $98,000.
Yeah, this one that I had was the Gran Turismo, which that's the designation for the hatchback, and it was 85 and some change.
Yeah.
So I think the other one.
Tell me something. Who who can afford? I mean, you see these cars in Lubbock everywhere. Who can afford a $90,000 car or a $100,000 car? I mean, how do they pay? How do they finance them?
They usually lease them, and that makes for a much cheaper payment, and especially with some of these popular cars like a BMW that have big residual values at the end. You know, people end up leasing the majority of them. This week I've got the 2018 Lincoln Navigator, and I got to tell you guys, this thing, I thought Escalades were nice. Lincoln raised the bar with this one, but an extended length that's fully loaded is over $100,000.
Yeah,
which
is a
is
big price
shocking.
tag.
Yeah, you know, Escalades are right around that same money. But
so, what would your lease payment be on a $100,000 vehicle?
Well, if it had a good residual and you put a little bit of money down, it's $600 a month, roughly. That's not uncommon, and that's pretty typical payment. I mean, guys, last month of December, the average cost of a vehicle in the United States was $36,000, and that is an all-time high.
Well, sure.
So you've already got the BMW 640i Gran Turismo on your website.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at it right now. The hatchback kind of reminds me of the old like Firebirds or something. You know, they had that thing that raised up, but it's a little deeper, more like somewhere in between a trunk and that.
But you know, if you put the back seats down, I think you could put 65 cubic feet of luggage in there. Which, I mean, there's a lot of compact SUVs that won't do that. It's massive the way the vehicle hit me funny when I first looked at it because of the hatchback and because the rear end's so short. I just kind of stared at it for a minute and went, "What is this thing?" And it took me a minute until I hit the key fob that I could tell that it was a hatchback. There's a second video. You guys will love this. Watch it when you get a second. But this car came with a remote control. It will park itself without anybody behind the wheel, and it's space age. So I shot a separate video of that, and so people could see it pulling into a very tight garage. I filmed it with nobody behind the wheel, just me and the key fob. It's pretty wild.
No. So, do you have anything else going on the Car Pro USA website that you want to point out?
We had a kind of funny story. Y'all may have covered it too, about the fact that some parts of Oregon can now pump their own fuel for the first time ever. It's been a law there in New Jersey. You could not pump your own gas. You had to have an attendant do it. And now some parts of Oregon. But the reaction from people was hysterical. The one guy said, "I'm 62 years old and I don't know how to pump gas." And they're all over the board, like, you know, are we all going to smell like gas? One guy says, "Oh, that's going to give everybody cancer." And we're like, we've been doing this for
yeah. Every other state's been doing it forever. All right. Well, Jerry, thank you so much for coming on. Just a reminder, your show is on from 11 to 1 on Saturdays, as well as your website is carprousa.com. You're looking for a car, make sure you check there first.
I appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Thanks, Jerry. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.